Well, the countdown is officially on. 188 days until the first ball is kicked at the Estadio Azteca. Roll out the red carpet today. So from the President of the United States to Tom Brady and even Andrea Bocelli, the stars were certainly out for the 2026 World Cup draw at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. Important for us, we find out who will play in Boston this year. Hello, everyone. I'm Tom Quinlan for NBC 10. I'm also your play-by-play announcer for Rhode Island FC on AM 790 The Score. 48 teams will compete for the World Cup across the United States, Mexico, and Canada this summer. 42 teams have qualified for the World Tournament so far. 6 teams still fighting for a spot, and that will be determined this March. We'll discuss that angle in a little bit. But first, the United States is hosting the World Cup for the first time since 1994. It saw Brazil win the country's 4th World Cup title over Italy 3-2. The United States fell to the eventual champions in that tournament 1-0 in the round of 16. Now, the success of the 94 games led to the creation of Major League Soccer, which features the New England Revolution right up the road in Foxborough. With the help of international stars like the world's best player from last World Cup, Lionel Messi, Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, David Beckham, Andrea Pirlo, Gareth Bale, and so many others, the game continues to explode here at home. 32 years later, though, American sports fans will come to embrace future domestic household names like Matt Turner, your starting goalkeeper for the New England Revolution, Giovanni Reyna, Tyler Adams, and last but not least, Christian Pulisic. Today's World Cup draw saw the 42 teams that have already qualified separated into 4 pots. Mexico, Canada, and the United States were all placed in pot 1. The final teams to qualify in the upcoming March playoff were placed into pot 4. So the group pairings have been drawn and break out like this. 12 groups with 4 teams per group, as you see it broken out right here. Mexico in Group A, Canada in Group B, the United States in Group D, and the United States will play its first match on June 12th against Paraguay. June 11th will be Mexico versus South Africa. And pretty much it's cut and dry. What you see is what you get here. Now, the toughest groups, if you ask me, would be England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. And then you come up here to Group C, Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland. Certainly 4 teams that could make real noise in the World Cup tournament. Even Haiti down there could really go pretty far and shock some people as some pure dark horses. Foxborough hosted the games here in '94 and will once again host with an astounding 7 different matches. We get 7 different matches here. The Gillette Stadium sign will be replaced with the name Boston Stadium during the World Cup. We'll figure that out down the line. The first match to take place on Route 1 will be Saturday, June 13th at 1 p.m. and will feature Brazil versus Morocco. So quite the marquee matchup to start there. 3 days later, the next group stage match will be on June 16th. Round of 32 action will take place on Monday, June 29th, and the final match at Boston Stadium will be a quarterfinal showdown on July 9th, 5 days after the country's 250th birthday. The Yankees in red, white, and blue will kick off group stage play, as I said before, at July 12th in Englewood at SoFi Stadium against Paraguay, And then after that, it'll be a trip up to the Northwest in Seattle on July 19th at Lumen Field, home of the Major League Soccer Seattle Sounders. Then the final group stage game on June 25th back at SoFi Stadium in Englewood. So, what about those last 6 qualifying teams? All right, so I know this may seem confusing, but just bear with me for a second. Think of this like a 1-game elimination playoff. 22 teams will compete for the final spots between March 23rd and March 31st. The 22 teams are split into 2 divisions. You following? The European playoff being one division, and what we could consider being the rest of the world being the other division. 4 teams will move out of the first group. The countries in this division features Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, Albania, Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, Kosovo, Denmark, North Macedonia, the Czech Republic, and the Republic of Ireland. It's kind of like that Animaniacs skit. 2 teams will advance out of the second group, which is right here, which features the Congo, New Caledonia, Jamaica, Bolivia, Suriname, and Iraq. The World Cup will run from the group stage games in the World Cup will run from Thursday, June 11th through Saturday, June 27th. The round of 32 fixtures begin on June 28th. The quarterfinals start here in New England on July 9th. The semifinals on July 14th. The bronze final on Saturday, July 18th, and the final on Sunday, July 19th. So that's how it breaks out. And there you have it. North America and Providence, it's going to be absolutely buzzing between all of the people that will be coming into the city from around the globe and even the restaurants, the hotels. You won't be able to move around this city without seeing World Cup fever. We saw what the World Cup did to American soccer in 1994. It made soccer in America mainstream. So who knows what will be possible when this tournament is all said and done. Till next time, I'm Tom Quinlan for NBC 10.